Hello there. Welcome on joining this live chat session. Viewers, can you hear me? Thank you for responding with yes, Samuel Faleke. Warm welcome to all of you who has joined this live session. One member has joined so far. Let me welcome him. His name is JX Ferenge. Joined after some time, after a little break. Maybe you were busy. JX Ferenge, warm welcome to you. Today's topics of the live chat, very important. Rising tension between Ethiopia and Somalia. Just a few minutes ago, Ethiopia disclosed the location of its port, its base in Somaliland. Speculation going around for the last 3 days about which port in Somaliland will Ethiopia use, Berbera, Zila, or some other port. Ridwan Hussein, the National Security Advisor, a few minutes ago disclosed the name of the place. Secondly, Hassan Sheikh, the Somalia's president, today used a very controversial term to describe Ethiopia's Somalia border. Nothing is going in the right direction between Ethiopia and Somalia. Unprecedented, sudden flare-up in tension between the two countries. The answer is not just diplomatic, but military as well. Details for you in this live. Let me welcome the participants who have made this live chat so far. Klaus New, as usual, is the first one who has commented. Welcome, Klaus New. RBK is always interested in me, whether I have eaten injera or not, which I haven't so far, which because it's not available here. What do I like in Pakistani food? I like dishes made of chicken. Yusuf Kabede says hello. RBK. Samuel Falek, greetings, Sajid Bhai. Irmia Sabdisa says hello. Trustworthy says hello. AB says welcome. Nahom Architect said good evening. SM hello. Says one name in, I think, Chinese or Japanese language. Is it Chinese or Japanese or some Ethiopian language? He says hello, Sajid. Empty says good afternoon. AB says yes. Shafo, well. What's up? Our reliable source. Thank you, Shafo. I think yeah, it's Chinese. He's confirming. Shafo, well, you are back after some time. I did not see you recently. Trustworthy said Michael Kidane says welcome. SM Pronation. Liz Elias joined after some time. Red Moon Entertainment. Teddy Fan. MT. Peace and love. Welcome, peace and love. Tamine Dugna. Johannes Siom. Nathan Ediso. Wagane Marcos. Imane Assefa. Ambacho. Abdul Qadir. Michael Kidan. Tamiro Gnane. Ibo Press. Rashid Guliyed. Yazisa Marto Wache. Abdul Qadir Hassan. Atu Edis Silase. Asad Ibrahim. Vogene Marcos. Dr. Abdi Jalil Hassan. Warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining. It's always good to be with you in these live chats. Thank you for joining, and special welcome to the members. We'll start member-specific live chat soon. So if you have not become a member, please do become a member of the channel. You can join the membership by clicking a link which is given in the description section of this live chats. Live chat description section, and the link is given in description section of every video. Click the link, be a member. Members are given some badges too, and then we'll start member specific live chats as well. Engagement photo join to Abdo Ali. John Joe says hello, brother. General Komsa join to Peter Halle. Samuel Faleke says, we Ethiopian people respect our neighboring Somalia, such as integrity and sovereignty. No gains by Ethiopia. at the cost of Somalia is acceptable. Muhammad Ali says, no way Ethiopia, our enemy, which occupy our region, Ogaden, it cannot put a finger in our sea. Ali Raya says, Sajid brother. Ali Raya, you're back after some time. Warm welcome to you. Empty says Ethiopia is working quick to get a port and navy. This is the strategy for Abiy. Yeah, I'll take your comments. Let me start first. Let me share with you what Ridwan Hussain has said. I'll only restrict myself to the location of the Ethiopian port in Somaliland, which has been disclosed by Ridwan Hussain today. Air Defense says, Sajid, how long do you think the war would continue between Somalia and Ethiopia? Months or years? The war has not started, just flexing of muscles, diplomatic muscles. If Ethiopia did not reconsider its decision of recognizing Somaliland, we could see prolonged tensions between Ethiopia and Somalia. James Henry says, hello, Sajid. Thanks for keeping us updated. Welcome, James. Adis Selassie says, why do you think the Eritrea is interfering with Ethiopian politics? The two have been interfering in each other's countries for years, I think. It's not something new. And by the way, do you have any evidence now that Eritrea is interfering in Ethiopian internal matters now? Internal matters. Alim joined too. Welcome, Alim, another member of the channel. That Ethiopia does not need a port. Look desperate trying to take someone's land, embarrassing our country. Ebenezer Gobade says, hello Sajid, how was your day? Why are you using hair cover? Well, I'm feeling a little cold. That is why I covered my head and put on some gloves. Gati Alimo, we Ethiopians are under hell because of this childish Abiy Ahmed. Anonymous says, Somalia cannot afford to launch war. Kimal, what do you think of the UAE's role in this MOU? UAE is the main player behind this MOU. Let me start, viewers. Can I start? Okay. When 4 days ago Ethiopia signed MOU with Somaliland, it led to start of speculations about which port Ethiopia would gain access to. Berbera, Zila, or some other. Ethiopia wanted to be a shareholder in the construction of Berbera years ago, but it could not honor its financial commitments, and it had to pull out of that deal. In Berbera, both UAE and Somaliland are shareholders. Now, when Ethiopia has signed the 50-year, is going to sign 50-year lease agreement with Somaliland, which port will it use? Will it develop a new port, or will it use an already existing port in Somaliland? Ridwan Hussain is Ethiopian National Security Advisor, one of main men in Ethiopia, Ridwan. He's the one who led talks with TPLF. He's the one who led talks with Ola. And he's the one who is at the front regarding this Ethiopia-Somalia port issue, Ethiopia-Somaliland port issue. So he's the main man, I think, in Ethiopia, very close to the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. Wherever PM goes, Ridwan Hussain accompanies. Ridwan Hussain, a few minutes ago, was interviewed on Ethiopian state media, EBC, I think. And there he disclosed the location of Ethiopian presence in Somaliland. Where will Ethiopian Navy be based? Where will the port be? Name of this place is Lugaya, which Rizwan mentioned. Lugaya is situated between Berbera and Zila. Is Logaya going to be the Ethiopian naval base location or its port location? I think port location. So wherever there is port, there would be naval base at. It means Ethiopia wants to develop a new port in Somaliland. Ethiopia does not want to be part of Berbera. Though I think Berbera will start receiving Ethiopian imports and exports as well. But the port which Ethiopia wants with full rights is going to be at Logaya. Why not Zila? Zila is, I think, closer to Ethiopia. Zila is closer to Djibouti, and I think there are some issues in that area. That area, that zone is disputed, I think. There could be problems for Ethiopia. Ethiopia has chosen a location between Zila and Berbera, and that is Logaya. Since the lease agreement is going to be for 50 years, so it means that Ethiopia can develop the port in a few years. And while the port is going to be developed in Logaya, Ethiopia can use Berbera port. And after the completion of Logaya, Ethiopia will use both ports, maybe Logaya and Berbera, but its main focus is going to be on Logaya. Ridwan spoke about recognition of Somaliland as well. What is Ethiopian government's position? Will Ethiopia recognize Somaliland? So we have seen that Ethiopia has not officially confirmed that it is going to recognize Somaliland as a country. Somaliland president is saying, Somaliland government is saying that Ethiopia has committed to recognition of Somaliland. Ethiopia, in its statement 2 days ago, said that it would make assessment of this issue and take a position. Ridwan clarified today in his interview. Ridwan says that Ethiopia and Somaliland will sign the deal. Ethiopia will get the land on lease. After that, Ethiopia will take a position about recognition of Somaliland. So now this is official position of Ethiopian government, that Ethiopia has not decided to recognize Somaliland. But as I said yesterday, day before yesterday, that there, I think, underhand deal has been reached between Ethiopia and Somaliland. Somaliland government is dead sure. It has been assured by Ethiopian government. Ethiopia would recognize Somaliland. But Ethiopia is not taking a public official position of recognition. Why? Because if it says that it can recognize Somaliland, it could lead to immense international pressure, regional pressure on Ethiopia. That is why Ethiopia says that after the signing of the deal, it will take a position. This is what happened just a few minutes ago when Ridwan Hussain was interviewed. And before that, I did a video 2 hours ago. Please watch that video, which is about an interview of Somalia's military spokesperson, Janel, who spoke today. Last night, he spoke. And the contents of the interview are very alarming. Somalia is making all types of preparations, not just diplomatic preparation, military preparations as well. And that military spokesperson made it clear that Somalia is in touch with groups in the Somali region of Ethiopia. So Somalia is going to back groups in the Somali region of Ethiopia for a separate Somali region or a Somali region which joins Somalia. Both scenarios could be acceptable for Somalia. New controversy being seen now about Ethiopia-Somalia border. The Journal of Somalia's military confirmed that his military has contacted former military officers in the Ogaden. Ogaden means in the Somali region of Ethiopia. We know that groups in the Somali region have been fighting for a separate Ogaden state for years. That movement could not succeed. Somalis now living in Somaliland, Somalia, Djibouti, and in Ethiopia. The man, Somali military spokesperson, claimed that some countries would support Somalia militarily. Which countries? Sorry, which countries? We don't know. And he made a big claim. He said that Ethiopia won't withdraw its military from Somalia because most of the ENDF members in Somalia are Tigrinya speaking members and they won't return. They will stay in Somalia. So that is why Ethiopia won't withdraw. When he accused Oromos and Afars that Oromia and Afar are annexing Somali territories. Just uh, an important interview with lots of allegations against Ethiopia. So this is what is happening. Now soon people will start saying, Sajid, you're fueling a conflict between Ethiopia and Somalia. This is what happens. Whenever I report about a conflict, people say you are spreading propaganda, you are fueling the conflict. But without any amendment, any twist, I am only sharing developments with you. I shared the contents of Janel's interview with you without my analysis. I am sharing with you Ridwan Hussein's interview, what he said, without any twist on that. But soon you would hear this type of propaganda. So this is what happened. Now I can take your question. A little later, I'll talk about Hassan Sheikh, Somalia's president, who used a very controversial term today to describe Ethiopia-Somalia border. Abdi Rahman says, Sajid, it's not your fault. Ethiopia is the sole party at fault for these tensions. Yusuf says, brother, I used to like you, but now you seem to be anti-Somali. You see, it has started. Liz Ilyas says, what do you think will be the reaction of Djibouti if the MOU is implemented? Djibouti is silent by that. Statements from Sudan so far, Egypt, Turkey, no statement from Eritrea, no statement from Djibouti. I think no statement from Kenya as well. UK spoke, US spoke, OIC, African Union, Arab League, IGAD, all have issued statements. Ethiopia, Somaliland, Somali. No statement from Djibouti and Eritrea. Houthi is silent too. Military spoke, so does military, and the statement was pro-Somalia. So let's wait. Estefano says, Sajid, I think it's good for you to internalize the internal situation as connected to the port before you provide superficial analysis. Better talk about the external. Better talk about the externalities rather. Alim says, respectfully, you're too animated about this story. I am not animated, but I am seeing a big conflict. I am seeing a major conflict in the Horn of Africa, which could have devastating consequences for peace and stability. This issue should not be taken lightly. Two countries are threatening each other. Somalia mobilizing its military, Somalia trying to find allies. It could be start of a big escalation, a big war. It's not a small issue. So my job is to cover it. I am not animated. I have nothing to gain from Ethiopia or Somalia, but I should keep the viewers updated. Those who watch me, those who watch my views on news, They should be well versed in the regional politics. They should know what is happening. And that is what my job is. And entire world is issuing statements, by the way. Still, I think I shouldn't I cover it? I mean, cover it with dedication while entire world is showing concern. Everyone should be concerned and involved to de-escalate the situation, I think. Samuel says, as an Ethiopian Amhara, I stand with Somalia, respect to all our neighboring countries, sovereign state territories. I don't know about you, Samuel, but those who are pro Fano, those Amharas, all are standing with Somalia. These days, they are worried about Somalia, their integrity and sovereignty. So, thank you, Shafo Well, for this contribution. Shafo says, what is your take on that Eritrea is saying that Ethiopia is planning to attack Eritrea in February? I have not seen any such statement from Eritrea that Ethiopia is planning to attack Eritrea in February. Could you share that with me to my email, sajid67200? Maybe some activists are sharing this type of, they're spreading this type of rumor, but Eritrea is silent. I have not seen any statement from Eritrea. Any other viewer aware of such statement from Eritrea that Ethiopia is going to invade Eritrea in February? David Chibsa Gichila, Mr. Saji, do you think the latest Ola strategy can make a difference? I'll make a video on that tomorrow. 2 days ago, I reported about change in Ola's policy. And honestly, I have contacted some people who are part of Ola, close to Ola. So let me find all the details. Then I'll share my analysis with you. Alazar is calling someone Banda. I read comments, I respond to questions, but I don't use such words for anyone. People have every right here to support Fano, to support Somalia, to support Ethiopia, to support Ola. They can speak their minds here. That is why all of us are here exchanging views. We should not use any insulting words for anyone just because he's supporter or he opposes a group or a government. James Henry, Isaiah's silence is deafening. Well, by the way, Isaiah is a seasoned player. And I think he's very cool when it comes to regional politics. The man is going to see the reaction of all the parties, and then at the end, he will take a position. So I think it's a sign of maturity. He's mature. Muhammad Abdullah, what do you think Ethiopia is right or Somalia is wrong? Well, I am no one to say who is right or wrong. But I think this Ethiopia Somaliland MOU is part of broader regional rivalries. I reported days ago that two camps are emerging in the Horn of Africa. Eritrea, Somalia, Egypt, Burhan of Sudan on one side, Houthi, Ethiopia, UAE, and Somaliland part of the other. So it's a fight for dominance in this part of the world. UAE is involved, other players involved as well. And Ethiopia has made it clear. Abiy made himself clear months ago that Ethiopia wants access to the sea. But when he spoke, maybe he could not deliver his message in a way which was convincing for neighboring countries. Neighboring countries saw his request as a threat. So they formed an alliance. Eritrea, Somalia, Djibouti, Sudan, Egypt. Djibouti is not part of this alliance, but all issued similar statements rejecting PM Abiy's position about access to sea. And no one agreed to talk to Ethiopia. Ethiopia wanted the full rights on a port in a neighboring country. No one agreed. Ethiopia believed that for its survival, it must have a port in a neighboring country. Neighboring countries did not agree. Somaliland made an offer. Ethiopia accepted. And by the way, can Somaliland rejoin Somalia? Is it a possibility? No possibility on the horizon. Somaliland's quest is for recognition. It is not going to join Somalia. I talk to people there too, by the way. Some of them are opposing Ethiopian MOU, but they don't want to join Somalia in most cases, majority. So they want to remain independent. They want recognition. Ethiopian offer is attractive for them. I think to put an end to this issue, to put an end to the tension, to de-escalate the situation, regional players should be involved. They should show some flexibility. They should give Ethiopia something which Ethiopia wants. Ethiopia is ready to give shares in its GERD. GERD is the asset of Ethiopian government, Ethiopian people. Ethiopia ready to trade GERD for a port in a neighboring country, ready to give shares in Ethio Telecom, Ethiopian Airlines. I think neighboring countries should show some flexibility. But the way Djibouti, Somalia, Eritrea united and they refused to talk to Ethiopia, I think forced PM Abiy to take this bold step of recognizing Somaliland. Still, I think there can be negotiation. There can be talks. Ethiopia can talk to Eritrea. Eritrea should negotiate with Ethiopia. It should be a business deal with Ethiopia. So I am not supportive of PM Abiy. I've been criticizing him for years. People say you have been paid by TPLF. Some say you are an Ola supporter. Some say you are Fano supporter. I don't worry about these allegations. But let's analyze the situation objectively, keeping loyalties aside. Ethiopia wants a port. It is ready to give shares in its assets. Countries should treat this Ethiopian request as an opportunity for business. But due to regional politics, Ethiopia was isolated. So Ethiopia had to go for this bold move. How will this bold move end? Where will it lead to? That remains to be seen. It could lead to a chaos, by the way. A chaos in the Horn of Africa, really. Or maybe it could lead to Ethiopia having a port in a neighboring region. Obviously, Somaliland is not a recognized country. Welcome, Daniel Abate. Now I'm ready to face criticism that I am pro-Abiy. JS says, Sajid, what is Tegarai's opinion on this matter? Why is Tegarai silent? Eritrea silent. Some praise are silent. Those who are silent, by the way, could be some big players. They don't want to take positions early. Yeah, Daniel, you are right. 2024 coming with too many problems. I agree. SM says, Sadia, this is not about Ethiopia. It is future Oromia. This will not benefit rest of Ethiopia. What makes you say that, by the way? Ethiopian imports, exports are not from just Oromia. Why do you say that deal is going to benefit Oromia only? EthioCSE says Oromos in Somalia are in hundreds of thousands, if not in millions. Their livelihoods are at risk. Yeah, if Somalis in Ethiopia come under state crackdown, if they're expelled, obviously Oromos in Somalia could face similar treatment from the Somalia's government. And by the way, last night the Somali military spokesperson used names Oromia, Afar, that they are annexing Somali territories. That was alarming. Oromo population in Somalia could be in danger. I think some top Somalia's elite members should be careful in the use of language. DW Ethiopia, let me first appreciate you because I think you raised a question 2 days ago about Somali region. What is happening there? I said I'll come back after getting some information. And now what we are seeing is that Somalia wants to make Somali region of Ethiopia a battlefield. Somalia in touch with groups in the Somali region. It wants groups in Somali region to start a movement for Ogaden, for secession. Somali region could be a battlefield. You asked a very pertinent question, I think 2 days ago. Enoch Birhano says, Mr. Sajid, do you think once the official deal is signed after 27 days, the dream of greater Somalia is over? I said yesterday there is many a slip between the cup and the lip. 27 days to go. 3 days ago, the MOU was signed, and you saw what happened in the last 3 days. So a lot will happen in the next 27 days, I think. By the way, several people are commenting saying that we are Amharas, we support one Somalia. I remember that when EPRDA was in power, these groups in Amhara used to accuse TPLF that TPLF was sold Ethiopian territory, and Meles Zenaw's decision uh, about not using a support was a strategic blunder. That because of Meles Zenawi, Ethiopia lost access to it. And now, when PM Abiy talks about access to a port, groups in Amhara, not PP, groups in Amhara which are fighting, they oppose PM Abiy's moves. When PM Abiy spoke about access to sea and target of his talk was Eritrea, these groups opposed that move by the Prime Minister. And now when Abiy wants to sign a deal with Somaliland, again the groups are opposing. So what do they suggest by that? What should the Prime Minister do? What should Ethiopian government do? Which port should Ethiopian government get through talks? Which country is ready to talk to give full-fledged access to Ethiopia? I think sometimes these groups oppose PM Abiy's moves because moves are coming from the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, because they want to remove the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. It's not that these moves are always not in the interest of Ethiopia. They're opposing it because they believe that if these moves succeed, PM Abiy will be stronger and their dream of removing Abiy will be shattered, I think. Tigisti has joined. Welcome, Tigisti. Tigisti, what is happening in Tigray? People asking questions about Tigray, saying how will Tigray respond to this MOU? Why is Tigray silent? Do you have anything from Tigray? Daniel says, Sajid, do you think the government of Ethiopia going to expel Somalis who living in Addis Ababa as refugees? Well, it maybe won't happen because Oromos in Somalia could face problems as well. Then. Galmo, you're not late. You're right on time. A little late, but I'm here for around 25 minutes more. SM is giving breaking news saying, yes, Abagada leaders arrived in Somaliland to claim Somali, the tribe who inhabit Somaliland. This deal, by the way, this MOU became possible because of Abagada diplomacy as well. Abagadas from Oromia played a role in creating favorable conditions for this MOU between Somaliland and Ethiopian government. KOA says, what happens if Ethiopian Airlines becomes bankrupt? I think that can only be explained after we see all the details mentioned in the MOU. Obviously, there'll be some safety clauses mentioned there for Somaliland. Now, let me speak a little about the second main news story. And that is about Somalia's president who passed some very controversial remarks today. Tegesti says, Sajid, being silent is an answer, right? Okay. But at some point, Tigray will speak, I think. Before I share with you what Hassan Sheikh said, Hassan Sheikh contacted Turkish president Erdogan. Erdogan's government issued a statement yesterday. The statement was definitely in support of Somalia. It was not a balanced statement. It was very pro-Somalia statement. Turkey has a military base in Somalia. Turkey has been training Somalia's forces. Turkey could be welcome back foot. Turkey could be a player in case of confrontation between Ethiopia and Somalia. Hassan Sheikh has talked to two Middle Eastern leaders so far. He's talked to one from Middle East, and that is the one he talked to Sisi as well. Then we heard that Hassan Sheikh and EU Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell also held a telephonic conversation. Egypt and Turkey could be Somalia's allies. And Somalia would need allies. Somalia needs allies now. Somalia would ideally like its allies to send their ships to protect Somalia's coast, which Somalia claims. By Somalia's coast, I mean the coast of Somaliland. I don't think that Somalia's military is capable enough to stop Ethiopian military. But if somehow Somalia gets support from other countries, there could be problems for Ethiopia. In coming days, Ethiopia is likely to send its forces to Somaliland. If Turkey decides to send its navy to support Somalia, or Egypt decides to send its navy to support Somalia, there could be a big escalation in this part of the world. That is why I say that what is happening between Ethiopia and Somalia should not be taken lightly. It could be start of a major regional war. This is the time to resolve the conflict. If this conflict goes on, we could see serious threats to peace and stability. So Hassan Sheikh is trying to find allies. Hassan Sheikh government believes that he'll find allies. Those which Hassan Sheikh government sees as allies could be spoilers, which could try to spoil the peace in this part of the world, which is very rare by them. Let's see which country is going to support Somalia militarily. That remains to be. We'll do a video on that separately. Hassan Sheikh used a very controversial term today. Hudud Binat is the term in Somali language which he used. This term is used by those Somali region based groups which have been fighting for a separate Ogaden region, saying that Somali region is not part of Ethiopia. It was annexed by Ethiopia. They use the same term. Hassan Sheikh used this term to describe Ethiopia-Somalia border. That Ethiopia-Somalia border is fake border, no proper demarcation. It was forced on the people of on Somali people. Alarming developments. Again, I'm saying. So Somalia is basically saying that if you recognize Somaliland as a country, Somalia will back a separatist movement in the Somali region because there is no international border between Ethiopia and Hassan Sheikh government is moving very fast. It knows that only a few weeks left. Ethiopia could reach a deal with Somaliland in the next 3 weeks. Before that, something should happen. Hassan Sheikh government busy on all fronts, regional, international, military fronts too. But can Hassan Sheikh government on its own force Ethiopia to rescind the MOU? That remains to be seen. I think Hassan Sheikh government is badly in need of some allies. Who will find more allies? Ethiopia or Somalia? Let's see. Koala, please don't flood the comment section, the chat section. You're saying you write the same comment again and again. Please don't do it. We can read your message. Your message, Ogaden is Somalian. Okay, but please don't write it again and again. You're free to express your views, but don't flood the section, please. Tigishti has taken a position. We don't know about Tigray's position. She says that nobody should support this illegal port deal. Is it the sentiment in Tigray, Tigishti? Lion Killer says, Lion Killer, Sadiq dressed like he has an appointment with fiery what? Hamza Ye HD TV says, enable slow mode. Even in this mode, I am not able to read all the comments. If I slow down the speed of these comments, I'll miss more, I think. Call says, Sadid, it's important to know whose side the people of Somali region support. Yeah, there are several players in the Somali region. Let's understand it first. Help me understand it. I am in touch with people there, by the way, because I've been covering Ethiopia. I've been covering Somali, Afar tension, Somali, Oromo tension too. Then opposition groups stay in touch with me there. So hopefully I'll come up with a video on that. But you're welcome. If you want to help me understand the situation there, you can contact me on my views on news through email sajid67200. But there are several players in the Somali region, by the way. PP is a player as well. Prosperity Party is the government there. Mustafa Omar leading there. Okay, the National Liberation Front there too. Newly formed political parties as well, newly formed alliances too. Tribal element there too. So it will be difficult to generalize the overall mood in the Somali region. Let me see if I can put this 10-second waiting period between comments. Let me check the settings. I don't know about it. Liz Elias, another lady from Tigray, says, do you think that Tigray is busy with its own problems? Yeah, but the politicians of Tigray have understanding of regional politics. They are seasoned players. So their views matter, I think, more than other regional governments. Tigray's views matter a lot because they know what is happening in Somalia and Somaliland because they have been in power for decades. They were in power for decades. Backfoot says they had an earthquake in Southern California. My laptop screen is shaking. I pray for your safety, Backfoot. Please be safe, protect yourself. Vedi Engesom is asking about Eritrea. Why hasn't it commented? I responded to it earlier. Eritrea would wait. That is what happened when Eritrea spoke about Sudan civil war. I think it was almost at the end of statements from all the parties. Do you think Somalia start war with Ethiopia? Big question. I'll respond to it. But signs are there that Somalia is going to resort to all options to stop Ethiopia from recognizing Somaliland. Diplomatic options, military options, all options being considered by Somalia's government. 50 minutes have passed, viewers. I think we should end this live chat session. Uh, Hinok is asking about assessment of Somalia's navy. Yeah, that assessment is also worth looking into, but Somalia is taking a new position, and that is about Somali region. Without having a navy, Somalia can create problems for Ethiopia by backing groups in Somali region. So if Somalia does not have a big army, big military, it does not mean that it should be underestimated. It has other ways of creating instability in Ethiopia. Koala, why are you writing same comment again and again? I'll have to ban you. Please don't do that. Why don't you talk about 15,000 Somali commandos and Navy trained in Eritrea? You do not watch my videos. I've been reporting about this development for years. For years. I've done scores of videos on that. 52 minutes have passed. I think we should end this live chat session. Let me read a member's comment at the end. He's Elim Gizao. Elim says, Somalians would have better strategy instead of agitating other Ethiopians. They should have said they were ally with us against Abiy. Well, they have not said anything against Fano Amhara so far. The channel last night spoke about Oromos, Oromia and Afar. So maybe they'll try to forge alliance with the groups in Amhara. What is the name of the port location to Ethiopia? Logaya. Its name is Logaya. It's situated between Zila and Berbera. Tigisti says, Sajid, may most people have the patience you have. Thank you, Tigisti. Let's end this live chat, viewers. Thank you for joining. Two important developments I shared with you. Ethiopia has disclosed the location of its planned port in Somaliland, and that is Logaya. Hassan Sheikh used a very controversial term to describe Ethiopia's Somalia border today. He said it's a fake border, meaning thereby that Somalia is going to back a separatist movement in the Somali region of Ethiopia. If Ethiopia recognized Somaliland, Somalia would start a proxy war or direct war in the Somali region of Ethiopia. Coming days, very crucial. 27 days remaining, and these 27 days are going to be full of new developments, new statements, new movement of forces in Ethiopia, Somaliland, and Somalia. Let's hope and pray that there is no new war and things are resolved through negotiations and dialogue. Thank you for joining. Stay blessed. See you tomorrow in the next live session. Till tomorrow. Bye bye.